Yeah, it's 2 weeks. It was.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Mayor Bailey?
Here.
Mr. Bateman?
Here.
Mr. Goodyear?
Here.
Mr. Hart?
Here.
Mr. Orton?
Here.
Vice Mayor Phelps?
Here.
Mr. Ping?
Here.
Welcome, everyone. With us tonight, we have our new Assistant City Manager, Chris Weinich.
Yes.
Director of Finance, Mark Medler. Our Clerk of Council, Misty Clark. City Manager, Dave Kennedy. City Solicitor, Joe Braun. Assistant Public Works Director, Sean Hartness. Chief of Police, Michael Gabrielson. Captain Gangwer is in the building. Also with us are former council members Todd Osborne, Pat Mays, and Kent Blair. I've got everyone. So welcome, everyone. So let's make it official and swear in Mr. Weinich. Are you coming?
No, yes, sir. Well, I just wanted to introduce Chris. So you can imagine the task ahead of you when you're the city manager trying to replace the likes of Corey and Cindy. And we've done both of those. We've replaced both of those too. And that is no easy task. And but there's one thing I realized quickly after Corey and Cindy was gone is how project related this city is and how project orientated we are and how the aggressive the city is with grants. And when I think about the projects we have going on now and the projects we have going on in the next couple years and who can take the lead on things like Love of Madeira Road that will go on for multiple years until it's completed and has so many different components. We really focused on people who were project related. And we did quite a due diligence. We spent a lot of time interviewing and searching. And then I met Chris. And Chris comes with an extremely heavy project background. He worked for the Warren County Water and Sewer District as deputy engineer. So Chris comes to the city with an engineering degree, and at the end of the day, we know that Chris certainly has the intelligence and the likes and everything to do to learn all the other aspects of what it takes to be with the city for hopefully many, many years to come. But also what we got here was just a high quality person. And I can't emphasize enough how important that is to the city and all the people that I'm fortunate to get to work with every day. I just real quick little story, and I think this speaks volumes about the person who's going to take over as our assistant city manager. So the way this process works, we meet, we talk, ultimately we do an offer letter. The offer letter gets signed. Then we discuss when you're going to start, when you're going to come in, how's it all going to work. And we start. So this deal is completely done. It is a done deal. Chris is coming to the city. We're just waiting to see when he announces it. And totally unsolicited, I get an email from somebody from the Warren County Engineers Department. This is not to push Chris. He's already in. He's already signed the deal. And it was a totally unsolicited email from somebody from Warren County who simply said, I think it would be important. I just think it is worth me expressing to you how wonderful of a person the city just hired, how high quality he is, and how much you're going to enjoy to work him. I forwarded it to City Council instantly. And that's important because at the end of the day, a good quality person with a good intelligence can learn it all. And I know we threw a bunch at Chris today, and there's a lot more coming, but you can see it sinking in. You know what his specialty is. He comes here with a significant experience in PFAS remediation. That is front and center for the city. He will be leading that charge and everything. So I'm really excited to introduce to everybody Chris Weinich and Mayor will swear him in.
I will just say on behalf of council, welcome. We all love this city very much. Everybody here loves this city very much. It's very important to us. And it was important to us to find the right fit because we are a small operation. And you've seen that. There's not a lot of people. There's a small amount of people doing a lot of work. And it's important to have the right people in each of those positions. And really, especially, I think city, the ones here certainly tonight, it's hugely important. This was a very, very important position to all of us to find the right person. And I, from everything, I've only just met you, but from everything I've heard from other people that know you and from those that have spent time with you, is we have the right person. So welcome. Really glad you're here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
I state your name.
I, Christopher Weinage,
Solemnly swear that I will
solemnly swear that I will
support the Constitution of the United States,
support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Charter and ordinances
and the Charter and ordinances
of the City of Loveland,
of the City of Loveland,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of Assistant City Manager
of Assistant City Manager
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Welcome.
Thank you, everyone. Very, very excited to get started on this journey with the City of Loveland. I really appreciate the council and Dave's ability to give me this opportunity. I'm excited. I really can't express how excited I am. Today I was here for a couple hours and I texted my wife who's here and I texted her. I said, "This is going to be a good thing." I was with Warren County Water and Sewer for 14 years. It was a very, very tough decision to make. I moved my way up through 14 years, finished out as a deputy director there, and just had a great opportunity presented itself here. But I learned so much and gained so much of my the background that I'm going to bring here. I gained there, and I really appreciate the support I have today. I actually have my in-laws here, my son Cade, my daughter Nora, my wife Nolan, and actually probably one of the coolest things that I saw, because I was over here talking, my boss from Warren County Water and Sewer, Chris Broush, is here too, which is pretty cool to see. I just want to thank, again, I know I'm here for the City of Loveland, but I want to thank them again, Warren County, everything they've done for me, and how supportive they were. They see this as an opportunity for the City of Loveland and me to continue to strive for what we want to accomplish, not only myself personally, but here at the City of Loveland. And I can't wait to get going with Dave. So thank you very much.
Good job, Dave. Glad you're here. Oh, we're gonna do a picture. Oh, okay. When do we not pull forward, guys? Can I do the photo?
We'll do a photo.
Yeah, we're gonna do a picture.
Let's go.
Yeah,
All right, I'm good. Little closer, Pat. All right, want to bring up all your people? You want us out of it?
Certainly stay in.
We'll get out.
I like it.
I like to see it happen.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
We did.
Should we change that?
There's a 10-year thing.
What's
Yeah, there's a 10-year thing to see, you know.
are they just gluttons for punishment? They're gonna hang around. All right. So now we need Chief Gabrielson.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Weinich, city staff, and everyone attending this evening for giving me just a couple of minutes. At the police department, we're very fortunate to be part of this great community, and we partner with many wonderful organizations that make Loveland and this entire region better for everyone. Tonight, we're here to show our support for the Care Center and ask everyone to do their duty and become a diaper hero by donating diapers to the Care Center. Now through Mother's Day, for those of you that need a reminder, that's May 12th, if you want to write that down. LPD is asking drivers who we stop for a minor traffic violation, we issue them a traffic warning to donate diapers to the Care Center. We're asking them to do their duty and donate. This program functions exactly like the Food for Fines program that you may be familiar with we did last fall, the holiday season, where in that program was very successful. We collected over 500 pounds of food and donated to the Life Food Pantry. So we're hoping that this program is just as successful as we issue traffic warnings and ask citizens to donate diapers to the Care Center. So Care Center Director Greg Knick is here to tell you a little bit more about the diaper drive and also Care Center mission. And then we'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. And we do have some handouts for anybody if they would like information about the program. So, Greg, take it.
Yeah, thanks. We definitely appreciate the opportunity to be able to partner together and expand the access to such a critical resource for local families. And so diapers, for a couple different reasons, are really important to us. For one, they're extremely expensive and they're getting more expensive. A family could typically spend up to $75 a month. That's almost $900 a year on just diapers. And especially for families that are under-resourced, that creates some pretty big challenges just from a financial standpoint. But we also know from a physical and emotional health standpoint, when mom doesn't have access to diapers, that not only affects the physical health of her kids, but also her emotional health, because she doesn't have the ability to be able to provide for her family. And that's especially important too, because diapers aren't something that you can get with other forms of assistance. State and federal programs, local food pantries often don't have access to that critical resource for families. And so we as the Care Center, as a part of our mission to help people remove barriers and build the resources they need to be able to thrive in life, love the opportunity to be able to provide this resource to meet people where they're at when they have this critical need. We do that through our personal hygiene, cleaning supplies, and paper distribution that we offer every Wednesday. But we hope that's not the end of a conversation. We really want that to be a launching off point. As people come to engage in that particular resource, it creates the opportunity for us to be able to build relationships, which we know is really important to help people experience life change. And that's really what we want to be about. We want to be about empowering families to get back to work, to build the basic life skills everybody needs to be successful and get unstuck in life through one-on-one mentoring and coaching. And so this season around Mother's Day, as people have an opportunity to be able to donate diapers, it's not just going to meet a practical physical need. It's actually going to create the opportunity to spark life change and empower those families to take a next step in life. And so thanks again for the opportunity to be able to partner together. If there's anybody from a local business, we would love to have local businesses actually be a drop-off site for those diapers. And we hope it's going to be a whole bunch of them. In the past 6 months, we've literally given away over 43,000 diapers through our personal care distribution. So thanks again for the opportunity to partner together.
If anyone has any questions, again, there's poster size back here, and then there's smaller handouts back here that kind of explain the program. The drop-off centers are at Care Center, also North Star Church, or we have a drop bin in the lobby of the police department. So you can come if during business hours, you can obviously drop off. If it's after business hours, you can buzz. We'll let you in. You can drop them off within the police department lobby as well.
Awesome.
Vice Mayor?
If I can just say, Chief, thanks for this. This is a great opportunity to give. And the community will respond, I'm sure. And to you, Greg, we're so blessed to have you in Loveland. The Care Center is an incredible enterprise. I've had the chance to see it close up a few times. My wife volunteers there. And if anybody's interested in a volunteer opportunity there, especially for teens, it's a great one. all I can say is you're a well-oiled machine there.
We try.
And,
Thank you.
You service, obviously, this community, but tell me again, how many counties do people come from to
Yeah, 87 different zip codes from across the city.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Well, thanks for what you do. And I hope we deluge you with diapers.
We're ready. We're ready to take them.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for
Thanks.
being here tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, we don't have anyone signed up for open forum. Next is review of the minutes of the March 26th, 2024 meeting. Any changes, additions to the minutes? Or a motion to approve?
Move to approve as written.
For a second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mr. Ori,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps,
Yeah.
Mr. Ping,
Yes.
Mayor Bailey. Motion carries 7-0.
All right, next is public hearing for the CD project selection. Can we have a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll move to open the public hearing.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Goodyear,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mr. Ori,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps,
Yes.
Mr. Ping,
Yes.
Mayor Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman. Motion carries 7-0.
There's no one signed up. Can we have a motion to close the public hearing?
Move to close.
Is there a second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mr. Ori,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps,
Yes.
Mr. Ping,
Yes.
Mayor Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
All right, we did discuss this project last meeting. Do you have anything else to add about it, Mr. Kennedy? Anybody have any further questions, comments about it? Go ahead and read the resolution.
Resolution authorizing the city manager to submit a community development block grant application for the Osage Drive sidewalk project.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ori,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps,
Yes.
Mr. Ping,
Yes.
Mayor Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear,
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Resolution 30 is adopted by a vote of 7-0.
Mr. Kennedy?
So on April 2nd, the city completed a petition for the annexation of 47.772 acres of parcel made up of 5 acres of land made up of 5 parcels located along Love of Madeira Road, bordered by Twoitwee and Lebanon, as required per Ohio annexation law. Following the submission of the petition and at least 20 days prior to the Hamilton County Commissioners hearing and reviewing the annexation, the city is required to pass a legislation detailing which services they would provide to the annexed property if it is annexed into the city, and the timing upon which it would begin doing those services. That resolution in front of council meets that requirement, along with Exhibit A, and this will then will be submitted to the Hamilton County Commissioners upon completion.
Anybody have any questions or comments? Yes, Mr. Bateman.
Just a quick question regarding Exhibit A, the statement of services. How often is that updated, or is that like a stock?
We do it every time.
Every time it's
Yeah.
created.
You had a new committee, for example, Hill Wagner Cemetery. You added green space. So once we know these are coming, I send the Exhibit A out to all the department heads, and people tweak it and make sure it's current and up to date. And that's what we do. We have a couple more police officers. We have more SROs. We like sort of doing it. Everyone, so this is very up to date.
Great. I mean, the reason I ask is it's such a great document in terms of seeing what the benefits of a resident of Loveland and all the things. So I think it's I was just curious if that was some sort of like boilerplate document, or if each time if there's a request, it gets a little refresh. So thanks for doing that.
And at the pace Mark keeps getting the financial awards, we always have to update that.
Right.
Financial budgeting awards.
Mr. Braun, I don't know if you want to go ahead and explain 12D, that resolution, since it's related.
Yes, and we have a second resolution as well on the agenda that you may not have seen in the past when we've done annexations. One of the things that's unique, there's many things that's unique about this particular annexation, but one of the many things is that the road will actually be segmented by this annexation. And that means that the property line between Sims Township and the city of Loveland will go down the road. one of the requirements in the ORC is that if you're going to segment a road, you have to agree that, so there's not a dispute over who's going to be responsible for the road, that the city of Loveland takes responsibility for the maintenance of that road. I reached out to Dave, who also reached out to our public works department, and come to find out we've kind of been maintaining that road anyway. So it's as you know, it's a major artery going in and out of the city, and we've kind of taken care of it, at least with snow removal and some other things. So as a result, we have to commit that we will maintain that road in the event that Sims Township does not, since it's now going to be segmented. And that's something that the city is willing to do. And we're just declaring that as part of this annexation. And that is required by the ORC.
All right. Does that raise any other questions or comments? Yes.
Just a question, I guess, as to what that involves. You mentioned snow removal. Is that also paving and striping? And it's everything about the road.
It would be. And I should also point out it's not the entire road. It's the road that's in front of the property that we're annexing. So it's that segmented area only. And but like I said, the reality is in the event there's future annexations down the road, that road would be important. And we do own most of the property in that area already anyway. So it is kind of nice actually to have that maintenance so that we have a little more control over that road.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? All right, we'll go ahead and read the first resolution, please.
Resolution setting forth services that will be provided by the City of Loveland to the owners of real property located in Sims Township, Hamilton County, if such area is annexed to the City of Loveland, and stating an approximate date by which such services will be available if annexed.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Vice Mayor Phopes,
Yes.
Mr. Ping,
Yes.
Mayor Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mr. Ori.
Yes.
Resolution 31 is adopted by a vote of 7-0.
All right, we'll read the next resolution when you're ready.
Resolution declaring intent to maintain roads in furtherance of the annexation of the property located in Sims Township, Hamilton County, if such area is annexed to the city.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ping,
Yes.
Mayor Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mr. Ori,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps.
Yes.
Resolution 32 is adopted by a vote of 7-0.
Mr. Kennedy?
So, as we've spoke many times, the message from our residents and was included in the comprehensive plan was connectivity. The city has elements of connectivity going on in all three of our counties. The first project that was really the emphasis towards the cities connecting our neighborhoods was the Loveland-Miamiville Road Sidewalk Phase 1, which was completed last year. That project took us from St. Columban, basically is the easiest way to say it, up to Sugar Tree. And then Phase 2 and Phase 3. So Phase 2 is scheduled for this year. The difference with Phase 2, we knew that Phase 2 would include a water main replacement. So with that and some underrun money the city had in October of 2023, we projected some underrun money. So council took a good step and actually began the design and engineering of this sidewalk and now water project and stormwater in throughout the winter. And that put us in a position that here we are in early April, ready to award the bid for this project. Phase 3, as I said, will take us to Huntington. Phase 3 will include some right-of-way with Claremont County auditors. Chris and I were talking about that today. And we included, and this will also be the city's first use of the WMR funds. And I'm not trying to overemphasize how important the WMR fund is, but with an allocation of $205,000, initially it was $396, and the amount of money the city has put into well number 5, as you all know, without the WMR money and the city's commitment not to take debt in the water fund, this project could have would have likely had to been deferred a year, moving Phase 2 to 25 and Phase 3 onwards. So this, as I said, is the first use. We budgeted this project at a pretty high amount, that $780 amount. And when the bids started coming in, we were a little wide open. So initially with this project, we included $347 in general fund, $51,000 in stormwater, and $396,000 of the WMR funding. When the project came in, and it was the low bid was submitted by Major Enterprise was $488,000. That allowed us to reallocate this project that saw the general fund take a deduction in its allocation of $152,000 and the WMR fund taking out a deduction in its allocation of $190,000. So that's $190,000 left in the WMR fund, of which has not had a single expenditure since council created that fund back in November of 2022. And that was what this fund is purposely for. So this is another step along that project. Chris and Kelsey, you'll be meeting at your next council meeting, our new city engineer. They'll be taking on the council goal of looking at all of Claremont County, what areas have existing sidewalk, how is the conditions of the water main, and presenting to council a full plan for connectivity amongst all the subdivisions, more likely neighborhoods is a better way to call them, in the Claremont County area. So by factoring in water mains and factoring in where we can add pieces. So this is an element of that. So with that, we have Choice One engineer recommended the city select the project with Majors Enterprise. And just so you know what the impact of this is, that in 2023 the city went 800 linear feet and the project was $280,000. Phase 2 is 488 feet. Is 540 linear feet, but because of the water main being added onto it, that project is $488,000. But obviously, when you're doing sidewalks and you're doing stormwater, and you don't just go right over the top of an old water main. So with that, we are ready, and legislation's in front of council awarding this contract to Majors Enterprise at the amount of $488,000. The project will begin relatively soon and will be done long before the kids go back to school in the fall.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? Vice Mayor?
I think this question's been asked before, but the sidewalk project, it's on not both sides of the streets. It's on the west side, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
It connects the three subdivisions.
And is this fair to assume that prior to this phase 2, the section that is being done didn't have stormwater or
just open ditches?
Open ditches.
So the city didn't go into this project with the intent of keeping open ditches as our stormwater. It's A, it's a little tacky. B, it's not very effective. And you really need to do curb and gutter. So that's a big part of this, is that if you've seen phase 1, you can see how the city's attacking this. Full on curb and gutter, new driveway aprons for every driveway, and now phase 2 and phase 3 water main replacements, which is an upsize of the water mains.
Yeah, I just applaud that because that's a sign of a healthy community, I think, when you're able to put those in.
Yeah, it looks a lot better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Hart.
Mr. Kennedy, does this phase, or any of the phases, I guess, include any plans for a crosswalk anywhere in there? Like, for instance, the church would have been in phase 1, or potentially in phase 3 into the LACC.
We did not factor in crosswalks, but we can certainly do that. I met with the new Miami Township administrator and pointed out that we're getting close to when they'll want to run with this, which is how these things are supposed to work. Mm-hmm. But we can easily look at crosswalks. We would need the our rapid rectangular, the beacon things to do it right and to do it safe. But just as we did the crossing, which we'll be putting in from Kiwanis to Simpson, we would have an engineer tell us exactly where it needs to go. So that's it's a real doable project, and I want to applaud the Presbyterian Church. They've allowed the city to use their property as a staging ground, and that's when you're dealing with a tight quarters like that, that's really something to be thankful for. So we'll be reaching out to them again, but it's Chris and I will look at it tomorrow, and we'll reach out to Choice One.
Great, thanks.
Any comments or questions? All right, we'll go ahead and read the resolution.
Resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Majors Enterprises for the completion of the Loveland-Miamiville Road Sidewalk Phase 2 project.
Call the roll, please.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mr. Ori?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Ping?
Yes.
Resolution 33 is adopted by a vote of 7-0.
Mr. Kennedy?
So, as everyone knows, the city's fire station 63, the new station we're building on East Loveland, was delayed due to the fact that the federal budget was just recently approved, and the city is using USDA funding. While the bad news is it took forever for the budget to get approved, our interest rate did go down 0.25%, which is beneficial. Real quickly, everyone knows when we bought this property, one of the primary benefits of the property the city purchased to build a new fire station was that it fronted 2 streets. And the ability for all return runs through pull-through bays to be able to easily come back into the station. The problem but what we did when we designed this project, due to the narrowness of the lot, this is a substation. It was recommended to us by the architect MSA that we consider doing some off-street parking, some 5 additional off-street parking spaces on O'Bannon. That was not the intent to include the road project as part of the USDA funding, and this was included in the 2024 budget. We estimated the construction cost at $70,000. J.K. Muir, who is doing the city's road program, is also doing the redo of the city's existing parking lot. We handed them the plans. They submitted a quote to the city of $46,350, which is $23,650 under the engineer's estimate. While the city has the ability to receive some additional proposals, this is under the state bid threshold. And if we so choose, we can move forward with the project and get this element of it done and out of the way. It's not impacted at all by the fire station, and it has nothing to do with the construction of the fire station.
Thank you. Any comments, questions? Yes, Vice Mayor?
A note that you reference in your memo that the project includes creating 5 parking spots.
Yeah.
Will those be open to the public?
No.
Okay, they're for the fire station? Okay, so they have 5 on site, and then the new 5 is for them as well.
It's really why we're building them. Okay. Through an average day, there would be enough spaces, but whenever you're dealing with training, any kind of maintenance, we would have those designated for fire personnel. It's in an area where there is no parking spaces. I don't know that there would be. We're currently working with 1859 right now to put some signage up to help them on Friday and Saturday evenings. That really only comes into play when they no longer have the vacant parcel. But the intent was to designate them for fire personnel.
Okay.
Yes. That's the best way.
All right. Any other comments, questions? All right. Read the resolution, please.
Resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with J.K. Muir Corporation for the O'Bannon Avenue project.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mr. Ori?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Ping?
Yes.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Resolution 34 is adopted by a vote of 7-0.
All right. Next is the Claremont County 911 plan. If you recall, we already approved the Warren County 911 plan. Chief Huber and I today were at the 911 Program Review Committee meeting to discuss this plan and to adopt the plan. So that's why everybody in the state was supposed to have this completed by, I think, April 1st. And today they said 33 of the, 88 counties have done it. So we're okay, but it's good to get this done tonight. There's nothing particularly exciting about it other than we are one of 3 what is called these public safety answering points. One would be Union Township, one is Claremont County has a comm center, and then our communication center. We used to be an associate PSAP. Now we are a full-fledged PSAP. So there are fees that the state reimburses for every 911 cell call that comes in to a PSAP. We've never been able to be part of that in the past because we were not a PSAP. Now we are. So we did amend this plan today we take approximately 7% of the calls in the county. And so Union Township was getting that share, so now we're able to recoup that share, whatever it is. And they have raised the fees this year, so whatever it is, it's something. That's the only change. But that's why we went ahead and put this on tonight, to just go ahead and get it taken care of. So if I've told you essentially everything I know. If you have any questions, I'll refer them to Chief Gabrielson.
I do have a question.
What,
Yeah.
Mr. Bateman?
So, because now we're no longer an associate PSAP, does that mean we're going to have a higher volume of calls?
Shouldn't change the number of calls. We still share. We're still mutual aid to each other.
Okay.
Chief, do you have?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we obviously our primary answering point for Sims Fire, and then the sheriff's office does Sims Township as well, and then obviously police and fire. So we're primary answering point for that. We're backup center. All the infrastructure that we have is Claremont County. We partnered with them, so all the infrastructure that's in, and we are a backup center for them. So if there's ever an emergency there, if there's ever a disaster someplace where they need to move here, we could actually handle it. The center here is designed to be a backup center for them. So that's the relationship that we have.
Okay. Great.
Actually, the individual that was running this meeting today had many good things to say about how well the three work together. And she was using the Goshen tornado as an example, that we were taking lots of calls to assist in that regard. So it seems to be working. Any other questions? All right, want to read the resolution, please?
Mayor, I think we
Yes.
need a motion to adjust the agenda.
Is that so?
Yeah, it was not on our original.
Let's go. Please make such a motion.
I move that we adjust the agenda to include this item.
Second.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Goodyear?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mr. Ori?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Ping?
Yes.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
All right. Now, can we read the resolution, please?
Resolution approving the Claremont County 911 plan.
All right. Any questions about the resolution? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mr. Ori?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Ping?
Yes.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear?
Yes.
Resolution 35 is adopted by a vote of 7-0.
Thank you. All right. Next matter, we have Sean Hartness, and is he still here? Yes,
John
there he
Robinson.
is. You are hiding. John Robinson, who's the chair of our Tree and Environment Committee, is also here. So,
Thank you, Mayor
Hartness.
Bailey. It's good to have Mr. Robinson, the chair of our Tree and Environment Committee, here tonight also. And he is kind of the driving force behind what we're discussing here tonight. He's been very active in this. I believe you have the memorandum in front of you. This memorandum accompanies a recommendation to the City Council to formally designate and name the new trail at Phillips Park, Dyson Trail. A little bit of background on the subject. As you know, the city owns and maintains many parks and natural green spaces for the benefits of our residents. As part of Phillips Park, the city owns 3 additional parcels that stretch from the corner of Rich Road and run between Fallis Road and the sports fields in the park. These parcels total nearly 14 acres and have been kept in a natural wooded state. If you look at figure 1 there, I gave you a picture that kind of outlines the area that we're talking about. Those 3 additional parcels there. Originally, Richard Dyson established a natural walking trail through these 3 parcels. And more recently, Jim Dahlmeyer, along with many volunteers, including Boy Scouts, National Honor Society students at the Loveland High School there, and other high school students, volunteers have established a natural walking trail through these parcels, which make up a 1.4 mile loop and include 4 new wood bridges that help residents navigate the natural terrain. I believe in figure 2 there, I gave you a picture of just one of the 4 bridges. They're all substantial bridges. They're very nice bridges, just to keep people from having to walk down into the creek in places. So, as part of the continued process of evaluating and promoting the various parks and natural green spaces owned and maintained by the city, the Tree and Environment Committee suggests that the city consider naming the new trail at Phillips Park to better identify the area and to reinforce the affiliation of the property to the City of Loveland's Park and Green Space Network. Now, part of this process includes considering names that are both identifiable and yet unique to the property in question. And that's how we get to the name Dyson Trail. The Dyson family have been extremely active and supportive in the Loveland community. Richard Dyson has helped to preserve Phillips Park as a city facility. He established the initial trail, as we talked about, between Fallis Road and Phillips Park sports fields. He also advocated against the proposal to turn this area that we're talking about into the YMCA. Additionally, the Dyson family financially supported the building of wood bridges as part of the new trail project. City staff recommends that City Council adopt a motion formally designating the trail in question as Dyson Trail. So the policy options are simple. City Council can adopt a motion to formally designate the trail as Dyson Trail. Alternatively, the City Council can elect to consider a different name or can elect to take no action concerning this recommendation. I would just point out that while there is no fiscal impact regarding the process of naming this trail, there will be a corresponding cost with signage to mark the trail. And there's a picture of the sign that would go at the entrance of the trail, I think, in your agenda packet there. So again, staff recommends that City Council accept the recommendation of the city's Tree and Environment Committee and by motion designate the name of the new trail at Phillips Park, Dyson Trail. On behalf of the city staff and the Tree and Environment Committee, I would like to thank you for your consideration on this matter.
Thank you, Mr. Hartness. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Yes, Mr. Bateman.
This is just kudos to all involved in this proposal for the renaming. There's a lot of thought that went into that I think is appropriate, especially going back to the founding of the trails themselves. So which is appropriate by a resident and somebody that took a great deal of personal interest in that property. My questions, I guess, are around those bridges. So it seems like I was just up there this weekend, and I noticed there's a tremendous amount of invasive species clearing that's been done on those parcels in the last, I guess, couple of weeks, or I'd say this season. And the bridges were new. So has that been a big city project to do that, or how has that undergone such a transformation over the last couple of months that it just got to become so cleared? It looks great. I'm just curious. This is like, when I saw this, I said, "Oh, it's all sort of working towards an end to create, a more recognizable, visible trail." But again, if you could, or Mr. Kennedy, just provide a little synopsis on the background of sort of how this trail is starting to get to be so tended, so well tended.
Sure. Well, the invasive species we've been removing for some time. The city is working on removing the invasive species over there, and we've planted some trees over there, and we have plans to do some other plants and stuff here coming up shortly. The bridges, they were really kind of brought to our attention. Like the first one, I think, was like an Eagle Scout project. Is that right, Kennedy?
Yep.
And so the Dysons had written the city a check to help support the building of some bridges and stuff in that area with the new trail and everything. And so the city was involved in that, but it was done, all the work was done by volunteers. So the city has been kind of keeping an eye on everything and making sure everything's done right. These bridges are good and solid, as you can tell if you went there. So yeah, it's really coming together. It wouldn't be this far along if we didn't have all these volunteers.
Well, and it's great that they get kudos as well on the sign. So, yeah, thanks for bringing this to our attention, Mr. Hartness. And I certainly think this is especially for that area. You know, we just recently designated the trail down at the bottom near Kiwanis. So I think it's going to be residents should see a nice push to promote the trail system, like you said.
And I can't take credit for the vision and all that. Like I said, Mr. Robinson's here, the chair of the committee, and he's overseen a lot of that. Some of this had been in the works before I even got here.
It's just a job well done by everybody. So thanks.
All right. Any other comments, questions? All right. Well done, Mr. Robinson, to you and your committee and all the volunteers. Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. All right. Would someone like to make a motion consistent with the request here?
I'll move to accept the recommendation of the Tree and Environment Committee and the staff to designate this new trail at Phillips Park the Dyson Trail.
There a second?
Second.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ori?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman? Mr. Goodyear?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
All right. Well done. Mrs. Clark.
The next item on your agenda relates to the Business Enhancement Award and the Lewis G. Rockwood Award. At the March 12th meeting, City Council was asked to make nominations for both awards. We received one nomination for each award. For the Business Enhancement Award, the 1859 was nominated. And for the Lewis G. Rockwood Community Service Award, Gary Gibber was nominated for that. The next step would be for council to approve those nominations by motion, and then we'll invite them to our next City Council meeting to receive the awards.
Okay. Mr. or Vice Mayor, would you like to read your nomination?
Sure. I think it's a privilege of mine to nominate the business that's on 3rd Street here in downtown Loveland, known as the 1859. The 1859 is owned by Loveland residents Kate and Shane Harden. Kate and Shane acquired the chapel, the historic chapel that's on that property in 2013. And in 2014, they moved in, took up residence in the building, and embarked on a multi-year effort to beautify the property into what is now unquestionably one of Loveland's most beautiful buildings and grounds. So the project began by them of basically doing a complete demolition of the interior. They took the walls down to the studs. They renovated all the plumbing and the electrical. The sanctuary inside the front door was turned into a large event space. They added a kitchen and other amenities, including an outdoor patio on the back. They then more recently, on the grounds to the right of the church, is a schoolhouse building that dates back to the 1830s. And they made part of that a groom's suite, but for weddings that occur in the chapel. But they also turned another portion of it into a bed and breakfast. The bell tower that you see there, those, by the way, are photos before they started their renovation. It's quite dramatic, the change that's occurred in the past 8 to 10 years. But that bell tower, it's been completely reconstructed, and nighttime lighting has been placed on it as well. The bell does work in there. Great story about the bell is that it came off of a steamship in which the captain's name was engraved on the bell, and the date was 1830. So it's a sweet sounding bell too. It was played for me when I was there the other day. Their landscaping has also been done more recently on their property, and all this hard work and meticulous renovation has resulted in truly a premier space for, weddings, meetings, general events, and it's right here in downtown Loveland. What makes the 1859 more special and inviting is just the beauty and charm that's found both inside and outside the building. As you can see outside, there's trees and flowers that adorn the entrance. And then those flowers are also in the back on the patio. I don't know if there's a photo of the patio.
No.
Might be one.
No.
Keep going. Or is that all? No?
I think so.
Okay. Take my word for it. They look great in the patio. So that's outdoors, and then on the indoors, there's this vaunted ceiling, and they basically did a very great job with warm decoration in there, and gives off an air of tranquility for sure. As the venue planner and operator of the 1859, Kate Harden makes sure that visitors get a 5-star experience and that they leave what she calls, quote, best possible memories, period, unquote. The care and effort of Kate and her staff have been noticed, especially by wedding professionals who have given the 1859 a Best of Weddings Venue Award, as well as the coveted Couples Choice Award. I could just also tell you Kate is a member of the Little Miami Chamber Alliance. She was named last year as Businesswoman of the Year. Shane, her husband, is the senior pastor at Branches Church. They're off of Branch Hill Guinea Pike. They raised 3 children on that property. Oh, there's the patio.
Sorry.
Oh, it was his fault.
Thanks for finding it.
I didn't hit button it up.
The original church was the Presbyterian Church here in Loveland, and it started in 1859, hence the name of the building. It was basically almost a century before they decided to leave, and they built that church that's on Love and Miamiville Road in the late 50s and 60s. And if I have my history correct, it was another Church of God, that worshiped there for a decade or two, and then it sat unoccupied for 2 or 3 years. So to me, this is just a long overdue recognition of the Hardens and this particular building and grounds. So I'm pleased to make that nomination.
All right. How do we do this? By motion, or has he done what he needed to do?
What do you think, Mr. Braun? We've done it by motion in the past.
Yeah,
We'll make a
motion's
motion.
fine. And to vote, and see if there's any other nominations.
Well, are there any other nominations? There are not. So you want to make?
Okay,
A motion?
I would move to make this year's Business Enhancement Award that it go to the 1859.
Is there a second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Vice Mayor Phelps,
Yes.
Mr. Ping,
Yes.
Mayor Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mr. Ori.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Okay, I nominated Gary Giver for the 2024 Lewis G. Rockwood Community Service Volunteer Award. At the Loveland Stage Company, Gary serves as house manager and he's on the board of directors. Like everything he does, he goes far beyond the requirements to ensure comfort and a pleasant experience for the patrons in the theater. He's also the Stage Company's committee leader for capital improvement. In this position, 2024, Gary founded and spearheaded the Loveland Stage Company music series. I went to one, I think it was in January. There was one this past Saturday that everyone was raving about. Councilman Ori was there. I heard nothing but wonderful things about it. In addition, he is bringing the Loveland Shorts Film Festival, a weekend of short films by independent, local, national, and international filmmakers, to the Stage Company. That's scheduled for August 2nd and 3rd of this year. And actually, the launch party for that is April 28th at Ramsey's, beginning at 5 p.m. on a Sunday evening. So, they'd like as many people there as possible for that. A few pretty cool events to try and make sure that the Stage Company financially stays sound and to utilize that beautiful building more often than just a few times a year that they're able to have a show. In addition, let's see here. You might have seen Gary and his wife, Becky, who is our current Valentine lady, walking on State Route 48, carrying a bag and picking up trash to help keep our community beautiful and clean. They've been a part of that Adopt a Block program for many years. In their spare time, both Gary and Becky take care of the bird feeders at the East Loveland Nature Preserve. Gary truly cares about our city and its people, and he helps make a better community for all of us and for future generations. So it's my honor, really, to move that we give Gary Giver the 2024 Lewis G. Rockwood Community Service Volunteer Award.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ping,
Yes.
Mayor Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mr. Ori,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Mr. Kennedy?
So the city council actually took action in January of 2017 that gave them the ability to waive fees for special events in the downtown district if they feel they meet certain qualities, if they benefit the community as a whole. Everyone knows about the Nest Community Learning Center. They are going to host a new event on June 22nd in the downtown district called Nest Fest. And the will include activities for kids and families to raise funds to expand their programming and offset their operational costs. Staff is requesting council waive the $150 special event fee application fee for the Nest Fest via simple motion.
All right. Anybody have any questions, comments? Would someone please make a
I'll
motion?
move to waive the special event fee for Nest Fest.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Mayor Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mr. Ori,
Yes.
Mr. Phelps,
Yes.
Mr. Ping.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
All right. As far as city council reports, the week of April 14th through the 20th, next week is National Communicators Week. The City of Loveland would like to recognize all our telecommunication officers in the Northeast Communications Center. These folks are rarely seen in the public, but always heard as they answer and dispatch countless calls every day to protect our community. So we thank them all for their dedication and professionalism to our community. Loveland Police Department was recently named the April 2024 Agency of the Month by the Ohio Association of Chiefs of Police and the Law Enforcement Foundation for its outstanding community policing efforts. So well done, Chief. The Tree and Environment Committee will host its annual litter pickup on Saturday, April 20th from 9 a.m. to noon. If you'd like to volunteer, meet at the Little Miami Conservancy, which is next to Nisbet Park along the bike trail. The city will host an open house for the West Loveland Avenue traffic study on Tuesday, April 30th between 5:30 and 7:30 p.m. at New Hope Baptist Church, which is located at 1401 Loveland Madeira Road. This event is open to the public and is the second opportunity for the public to provide input for this project. The city, as you may recall, conducted a public survey in June and July of 2023 and received more than 1,700 responses. Does anyone else have any reports? Yes, Mr. Hart?
I just wanted to talk briefly about an event I went to on Saturday night. There was a benefit put on for a family in Loveland whose house had been mostly lost to fire, and been put out of house, and the guy was doing some renovations on his own, trying to get back in. And what struck me was not how many people showed up to this benefit, because I think that in and of itself could be a story, just because I think every time I turn around in Loveland, somebody that needs help is getting an incredible outpouring of support from this community, which is awesome. But also in this particular instance, the people that were putting together the benefit had reached out to the businesses in the downtown area and Loveland Madeira, and had an absolutely overwhelming response in donations and gift baskets and things like this. So they could do a raffle. It was just really incredible. Just another kind of very stark reminder of how cool of a community this is and how supportive people in this community are of each other. It was just a really neat experience.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, I would be remiss. Today is April 9th. 20 years ago today was the day that Matt Maupin was captured. And actually, there was an event Saturday for the Yellow Ribbon Event Center. Their Let Us Never Forget Scholarship Fund. Council members Hart and Goodyear were there, along with our city solicitor and myself and our significant others. And I think they estimated they said there were 650 people that were at that event. And they've been doing this now for 18 years, and to have that event continue to grow instead of sort of peter out a little bit is pretty impressive. And it was one of the most patriotic. I wouldn't call it uplifting. It was certainly it's somber at times. There was a lot of Gold Star families, which are families that have lost loved ones in combat, that were there. It's really who that event is for. But it is an event that really makes you take stock of what we have here in this country, and is certainly a worthwhile cause. So we'll remember Matt Maupin and his family today, since this is the 20th anniversary. All right, with that, can we have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mr. Ori?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Ping?
Yes.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.